exciting start to professional soccer in the Central Valley of California. Fresno FC set to play host to the United Soccer League Game of the Week on ESPN3. Chuck, Chansey Park set to play host to Rio Grande Valley FC. Both teams below the playoff line, and both teams, large in part, have played pretty well on the year despite that fact. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Devin Kerr alongside Mike Watts with you. And both these teams right now could say if they just finish games off, they'd be in the top 8 in the USL's Western Conference. For Fresno, they've left 4 points on the cutting room floor just by not finishing games in the last 2 weeks.
Not finishing games, and Adam Smith would like his boys up top to finish a little bit more as well. And unfortunately, because of that, they're sitting 10th in the West. Look, statistically, one of the best teams in the USL, but that full package, that 90 minutes that every coach covets, game in and game out, haven't been able to put it together, can't get the results.
And for RGV, defensively, it's starting to come around, but on the road, 3 losses.
And Echeverry has done a good job organizing those boys, figure out exactly what he wants to do in the back line. Going to see a change here this evening, but look, he tells us get the job done at home, go on the road, steal points. They have done no thievery whatsoever. Much better job here this evening to get it up and get it going and steal something to move up the leaderboard.
For Fresno FC, they look to experience to get their offense going, and Jamal Johnson, he had a great goal against San Antonio.
And he's been kind of the lone light up top. He's been able to get the job done. They've had him on the left, they've had him on the right, shifting him all over, and he's been a great distributor of the ball as well. 4 goals leading the team, but he needs some assistance. He needs a supporting cast to help push them to the next level so that they can get those results we're referencing.
And for Rio Grande Valley, their midfield dominated by Todd Wharton. He's a familiar face to RGV fans.
It's a magician in the middle of the field, if you will. Does a great job. He pulls the strings all over. Pure, cut and dry distributor. That's what you're going to get out of him. Probably not a lot of flashy goals. He'll have a couple strikes from distance, but he's excellent in combination. More specifically, Zaldivar, they combine very well, and that's what they're going to need up top. They've been struggling a little bit as of late.
Fresno FC went winless in April, and they haven't won in their last 5, but they feel like they're on the cusp of a victory. For RGV, 3 losses, all on the road, all by 1 goal apiece. Can this young team get over the hump? We find out next in the USL Game of the Week.
Star-Spangled Banner, yeah. Welcome back to the United Soccer League Game of the Week on ESPN3. Fresno Fuego, the Fox, is off the field. It means we're just that much closer to kicking this one off between Fresno FC and Rio Grande Valley FC. Devin Kerr alongside Mike Watts with you. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, and both teams making changes from their most recent appearances. for RGV. They make 4 changes in total, especially that back line. That was unexpected.
Castellanos is going to step in, the young 19-year-old getting his debut. And we just talked about at the top of the broadcast, Jerson Echeverry doing a good job figuring out what his back four was going to be, switching it up. Ontiveros stepping out, sitting on 4 yellow cards. Does that have something to play? We're not really sure, but then looking going forward, Brayetta Parton in the middle with Todd Wharton. Monday, a team on the side. He's been an interesting addition to the squad. He's come off the bench so far in 2 appearances, so this is 3rd, getting his start here this evening.
On the other side, how does this look tactically for Adam Smith and Fresno Football Club? We don't quite know yet, do we?
Well, and so far from him, he should just come out and say it's going to be 1-1-1-1-1-1-1. But no, you know, they played a 4-2-3-1. You're seeing right here a 4-3-3. This could quite rapidly turn into a 3-back system with Justin Fittis stepping up on the right-hand side. Cooper and Fittis, very talented as wingbacks, getting up and down the pitch with Rodolfo and obviously Jamal Johnson. Keep an eye on Noah Verhoeven, the youngster, as well.
He's had a fantastic start to this. Another year in the USL, 17 in blue on the near side of your screen. Adam Smith has been careful not to overuse the 19-year-old who's spent time in the USL with Vancouver Whitecaps too in the past. He told us this week that the onus here is on the players. There's not a big speech that's on the way. They lost on the road to San Antonio FC 2-1 last time out. Before that, 4 consecutive draws. They know that here tonight, it's important that they pick up 3 points before they start one of the most challenging stretches of their season against Real Monarchs and Orange County, the 2 top teams in the West. For RGV on the other side, when you struggle on the road and you go for a midweek game yet again, this team has to find a way to come together and pick up points on the road. It makes for a really interesting game here tonight, Devin.
Well, both squads, it's a character issue. It's what are we going to be made of, and day in and day out we get it. You're going to come out, stop going through the motions. The Foxes have proved that a little bit more prolifically. They've shown that they've been able to come out and get the job done, but that's only from a performance standpoint. Goals win games, so you got to make sure that that number tells tale above all.
Fire Squad Fresno is up and at 'em as we kick this one off at Chuck Chansey Park in downtown Fresno. RGV playing their 8th game of the year, a win, 3 losses, all by a goal apiece, and 3 draws. For Fresno, 2 wins, 2 losses, and 5 draws, including a crushing set of 4 in a row, including 2 in which they gave up goals in the 90th minute or later.
To revisit that entire stretch, Mike, you know, the first loss since opening day, 7-match unbeaten streak, and you just said it, 4 ties in a row, yet with all of that movement that they've done up and down, left and right, still sitting 10th in the West, and it just really goes to show what they've been able to do, moving the ball all around the pitch, carrying the statistics, putting shots on goal, but as we said, just back of the net, can't find it.
There's Connor Donovan, who came over from Orlando City in the offseason. Donovan's been the linchpin to this defense at the outset. 2 consecutive shutouts, this Toros group. Jamal Johnson gives chase and lined up field. Maybe a chance here for Quintanilla. Hang it up the side, Zaldivar. Here's Wharton. Kai Green pushed aside. And Sarah Cortez, the near side AR, gives the throw to Fresno. There's Adam Smith. And we've spoken with him a lot this year, and you get the sense that tactically he's got good awareness. This is his first head coaching job. It seems like they've got a level-headed guy at the helm, which is valuable when you're going through a stretch where you haven't been able to totally pick up the result in the 90-minute performance you're looking for.
It's frustrating for them again. They've been able to go out and put together good showings, but look, at the end of the day, you got to be held accountable for your own actions and what you have or have not been able to do. Unfortunately, Adam Smith and his boys have dealt with a lot first few matches of this year.
A-team knocks it wide. Enriquez has to go all the way to the byline. And now sends service toward A-team, and Mickey Daly launches it away. Throw for Perea. It's his 3rd start of the year. Toro's 8th game.
Fans, remember, in the interest of your safety, please be aware that soccer balls may fly into the spectator area, be dangerous, and cause serious injury. Be alert at all times when you're in the spectator area, and please inform children in your care of these risks.
Nico Corti out of Stanford drives that into the stands.
I hope you were listening to the PA announcer there, Mike.
Which was?
Make sure dangerous areas and this, that, and the other. And I don't know, I tuned out.
I did too, and then the ball flies into the bleachers and
young mother walking by with a child.
Oh. Dangerous stuff. Well, Nico Corti had one of the single best performances in the NCAA tournament in history in the NCAA. As his senior year at Stanford, completed a three-peat. Did not allow a goal in the NCAA tournament. Makes him the 6th goalkeeper to achieve that phenomenal outcome.
He did it 5 games in a row. It was the best goalkeeping season in school history. So Corti obviously more than capable of getting the job done. He's shown that too. He's capable of making amazing saves, and unfortunately, because they struggled so much in the back line in their first few games, probably taking a little bit more brunt of the issues there. But again, things have settled down for the Toros. The ship's starting to be steered in the right direction.
A-team fouled by Pedro Ribeiro.
Free kick for Los Toros.
A-team on the right. That'll be a good combination for him with Kai Green. Kai Green's been a little bit up and down this year. Shifted from the left back position over to the right, and recently, unfortunately, taking a back seat as Manuel Padilla has stepped in and assumed that starting role. But Kai Green getting the nod here this evening. Going to make the most of his opportunity.
Five minutes gone. Quintanilla gives chase. He'll come to Kyle Rainish. At least for now, it does look like the 4-back look, with the outside backs getting pretty far upfield. Seems like a realistic outcome.
Especially with Alex Cooper tucked in so tight. And you'll see him when they start to move forward. He'll release so he can get down into the channels. But they're not pressing too much. Holding the central part of the field quite tight. And you're spot on there, Mike. That looks like the 4-back system as of now. But like you said, they could switch at any point in time with the talent they have on the field.
Zaldivar drives over the top. Daly up to meet it. Ribeiro knocks it backwards. Zaldivar. Well, Ribeiro does the dirty work and gets the ball right back, although Rodolfo turns it over. Quintanilla. Zaldivar gave a shot at it, and advantage had been played. Quintanilla draws the foul. Daly commits it, and it's a free kick in a dangerous spot for RGV.
Mickey Daly in honest disbelief as Quintanilla continuing his run here forward. Excellent turn, brings it right over the right shoulder. Yeah, Daly's a little late. Referee playing advantage so that Zaldivar could step up and have a crack. Decides to go to the whistle. Dangerous area. A lot of times you'll see the likes of Todd Wharton from the left-hand side of the pitch, but Zaldivar is who we've seen recently. Obviously, you've got the very talented Jesus Enriquez, plays out there on the left.
Enriquez said to expect goals and celebrations, but it's Zaldivar off the post. Oh, he hit it as square as he could. Horribly unlucky for RGV.
And Kyle Rainish in the background just shook his head like, well, okay, let's get it going the other way, boys. This is a really well-struck ball. Oh, up over the top, swerving inside. That's a very good free kick. Unlucky by Zaldivar.
Bradley Camden Fayewo. Back to Ribeiro. Ribeiro, one of those guys that epitomizes Fresno's willingness to make adjustments in this first quarter of the season. Formationally, with individual players, he came in as their number 9, as the jersey would tell you, an out-and-out striker. He's moved into the number 6, that holding mid-roll. He felt, Adam Smith, that was an educated gamble. It's large in part worked out.
Well, interestingly enough, some of the school of thought behind it is a little bit similar to what's going on at FC Cincinnati and Indy 11. Alan Koch and Martin Rennie, they have tailored their squads where they can make those tactical changes in game and they don't have to switch personnel. They can move formations and move guys around on the pitch, but they don't have to go to the bench to be able to do so. That's a very, very big challenge to have on your hands, and also an amazing capability at the same time.
You're told ahead of week 1 that it stood out, an obvious 4-4-1-1, and then it became a 4-4-2. They tried 3-back looks. Well, they can certainly adjust, this Fresno team, as it bounces away from Jesus Enriquez. Zaldivar racing in. Ribeiro's in trouble. Daly digs toward the corner, ball in tow. Ribeiro trying to make the move. It's a clean challenge from Enriquez. Deflects up, A-team after it. Monday, A-team commits the foul with Martin Del Campo tugged at center back.
Well, you and I had a conversation with Adam Smith this week, and he talked about what we may or may not see from RGV, as they've also been shifting around a lot. You're seeing a lot of what they did last game funnel over into this game, playing that 4-4-2 system. Adam Smith telling us through the tape that he had seen the little of it. The 4-4-2 system 2 games ago, they were much more flat, didn't press any space. But right now, you're seeing a much higher press. You're seeing the 1 stack up top, trying to push them down into the channels. It's working for them.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Wharton playing it backward. Donovan drops to Corti. Intercepted by Argueta. Cooper turned over. Rodolfo again! He skied it. Ribeiro playing upfield with Rodolfo, and in the end, the turnover from RGV doesn't prove catastrophic.
Sometimes Fresno can be a little bit too depictable in their actions. This not the case whatsoever. Nice little triangle between the 2 guys, back and forth play. Rodolfo has to stay over that. Does a good job isolating in the middle, and just a wide open opportunity. You got to put that on net.
Rodolfo, 24 years old, from Brazil, on loan from Palmeiras. Jamal Johnson working the left-hand wing. His service deflects out. Johnson, a team-leading 4 goals, wins the corner for Fresno. No Juan Pablo Caffa, he's the set-piece maestro. Maybe the best in all of USL. A challenge against Phoenix has him out still. They're extraordinarily thankful that there wasn't severe damage done to the ligaments in his lower body, but we do hope to have him back. He didn't pass a fitness test a couple days ago to play. Johnson approaches the byline, got the service across, steered as far as Justin Fittis, the rookie drafted by Vancouver. Verhoeven. Ribeiro showing strength, playing it through, chance now, Rodolfo lost his footing. And the search for the number 9 that's going to break through for Fresno continues.
And I like the diagonal run in behind the back line, but my question is here, as the ball breaks them down and you beat the center back, where's the communication right here? You can see him looking over his shoulder. Now, he knocks a poor ball, indeed a poor ball, but no one's there. Take a step on it, look up. His teammate should be screaming at him, time, time, time. No one steps in behind, and it's a wasted opportunity.
Johnson pops it up, and Alex Cooper trying to combine with Johnson. It breaks down with 8-team stepping in. Foul by Camden Faywo. Jerson Echeverry shouting into his defensive half. It'll be a yellow card.
And you're going to get another look here. Nico Corti. The clearance pushing the ball up the field, and just Camden Faywo stepping in a little bit difficulty.
To Bradley Camden Faywo at the 14th minute.
Pushes himself into Monday 8-team. Unfortunately, he's going to go into the book 14 minutes into the match, but the second or third time we've seen him tussle on that left-hand side.
Dropped over Enriquez. Ran out of real estate. Kyle Rainish to take the goal kick. A bit of a surprise to us that we heard last week from Adam Smith, a former member of that goalkeeping union, so to speak. He said that he's only under contract through June. Allowed a certain number of short-term deals. Rainish, a guy who's getting that first real chance to start in a while. Largely a backup in MLS, including to Brad Guzan in Atlanta these last couple of years. Their last year, I should say. Camden Faywo, long run. Knocked out by Green.
That's a solid tackle by Kai Green.
Yeah, you can tell the way Camden Faywo was walking it off. That was a solid tackle.
Kai's taking a little bit of the brunt of it too. Just a little thigh action, but he recognizes the dangerous ball that's being played down in, shows some of that speed off, doing a good job backtracking.
I'll get to Johnson. Johnson will have a go. He pulled it wide left of the post.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportsamerica.com.
Jamal Johnson showing you
orders over $50.
all the facets of his game in this opening 15 minutes. It's a good 1-2 balls, working well into space. That's something you'd like to see a little bit more from Jamal Johnson. You wonder if he could assume that 10 or 9 role in the middle of the field, play with his back to the goal, and have the capability of turning inside, having a crack on goal. That's something else that I want to talk to Adam Smith about. Are they taking their chances from distance? So far, we've seen a good job breaking down the back line over the course of the season. And they've had some strikes on goal, but just like you saw there, they're not putting anything on frame.
That's a challenge at midfield. A foul. And Perea back to his feet. That's the stat you pulled up that really blew my mind. The number of goals inside and outside the penalty area for a team that's got 11 at this point, but none from the penalty spot. They're all in the run of play. Large in part outside the box.
The problem there, Mike, it's actually 8 in, 3 out, but you're right, the other way around. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. You say tomato, I say tomato.
I say incorrect fact, you say correct fact.
I say pasta.
Cooper. It's not played out by Green. Green's been active so far.
We thought we'd see a little bit more on the left-hand side with Castellanos and Kyle Adams. A lot of the problems they've been having in the back there have been on the left side, but again, solidified over the past 3 matches. The 19-year-old from Palmdale, California, Castellanos getting the nod.
Johnson, Corti got up high, and the whistle back in the box. Joseph Dickerson.
You can hear Adam Smith having a few words for Joseph Dickerson. every time we touch someone, we're blowing a foul. Rubbin's racing, right, Adam?
But he's a goalkeeper. Like, of all the people, he would know.
Yeah.
Corti founded the Dynamo and RGV goalkeeping combine. Drives that out of play.
Fresno, where you at?
Felt like he needed MapQuest to figure out where to throw that ball in.
Tandem Faywa is wearing shorter shorts than I used to wear. Don't dig through the archives for photos on that one.
I won't. 19 minutes gone in our USL game of the week. Fresno and RGV scoreless. RGV has smacked the post on a 22-yard free kick already. A-team going back. Johnson trying to step in, and Corti will take over. Get a player's perspective on all the action around the USL every Wednesday. Tampa Bay Rowdies' Jack Blake hosting the Blake Down on the USL YouTube channel. Jerson Echeverry coming from Seton Hall, where he's been the head coach at his alma mater these past years. Played with Wilmer Cabrera, head coach for the Houston Dynamo, and that's the connection that sort of made this all come together. Experience on the youth United States national team with Wilmer as well. And in the end, it's 3 head coaches in 3 years for RGV. Cabrera moving on to Houston. Junior Gonzalez moving on over the offseason to Los Angeles Galaxy. Turned over, good pressure from Fresno. Johnson backing away. Tries to flick it through with Cooper starting his run.
That's probably one of the biggest difficulties that they've struggled with here at RGV. Adam Smith told us as well, he said, you know, they thought they were really, really good under Wilmer, and when Wilmer stepped up, Junior Gonzalez comes in. They were still threatening last year. Deciding to make a change. When you run a similar system to the Dynamo, you try and push players into those stratospheres, the next level, the obvious situation for the next step of the MLS. But you're rotating coaches in and out. It's really difficult to maintain that chemistry between all the players, and you've seen that as not only are they trying to continue to gain experience with all these guys, but they're funneling them in and out. Because of that, they've only got 3 players remaining from that very impressive 2016 playoff team that we saw under Wilmer. It's Kai Green, Todd Wharton, and Jorginho James, another one who we haven't spoken about here tonight, who was a mainstay in the middle of the field last year. It's been up and down, to say the least.
Verhoeven putting on the moves. That year, their expansion season, 2016, they allowed 24 goals all year. Well under a goal a game, and finished second in the Western Conference. And Noah Verhoeven, a little move on here. Goodbye, Enriquez.
Pretty impressive. Nice movement. You can see he loves that left foot of his, huh? Does a great job with it. He's so crafty. Keeps his head up. It's on a swivel, constantly moving. Not the biggest guy, but does a really good job getting in and out of tight spaces and using that body to his advantage.
Rodolfo stepping over. Cooper. Camden Faywa making the run inside. Cooper got the cross in over Johnson and knocked away. Wharton cleared it over the byline. It's a corner for Fresno.
The universal soldier, Todd Wharton, once again stepping up big for the Toros. It's great work on the left by Alex Cooper. Nice ball swung in. Good clearance by Todd Wharton.
Johnson, left head of Ribeiro. Kept that in on the far touchline. And now sends the service. Knotted wide by Kyle Adams. It's another corner on the way. If he didn't get that, Jamal Johnson may have had his 5th goal of the year.
Well, again, another look at some exceptional footwork. Really impressed with the service that we've seen swung in so far tonight by Fresno. See the likes of Kyle Adams, Connor Donovan, Kai Green over and over again making the clearances.
Hop back up, the net is empty. Corti's lost it. Ribeiro follow is off frame. It was Cooper.
Well, just a few moments ago, Nico Corti did a great job coming out for the ball. Nice punch, put it about 20 yards out from his goal, and a lot of goalkeepers this year in the USL have struggled with that. You can see why right there. Corti floating to the back post. You almost wonder if he loses it in the lights. Goes up to get the ball, misses, and again, just a little bit of tic-tac-toe in the box. Fresno, once again, just can't put anything on frame, and that's what it goes back to for me is fool me once. You know, go back to the old saying. They just put something on the net, put something in between the posts, give anybody an opportunity. And when I mean anyone, how many own goals have we seen this year? But you consistently push the ball wide, and all you're doing is just putting yourself deeper, deeper into that sandbox of quicksand.
Wow, watch Fittis run. In the end, it's a corner. A guy who ran the fastest 30-yard dash at the MLS Combine, the fastest player for Vancouver Whitecaps, making his 2nd career professional start. Fittis ran a 40 just for giggles at the NFL Pro Day at Washington, 4.37 seconds. Verhoeven over Del Campo. And now he's running out on the right side wing for Fresno Football Club. That's terrifying.
That's one of those where you walk away and go, high score, is that good? Just look at all the football players.
It's like Darius Hayward-Bay and then Justin Fittis. Yeah.
That's a fun tag team option for Adam Smith. As he starts to introduce him more and more, gets more familiar with this system. Alex Cooper on the left, Fittis on the right, letting them run rampant. Especially when you get Verhoeven into the mix.
Well, that's the battle here for Fresno, because you identified it earlier in the year, and it's something that we've spoken to Adam Smith about a couple times. How do you balance the left with the right? And Fittis might be that answer.
He told us that they've struggled with doing that because they didn't have the appropriate response coming from the right-hand side. Look, you take a normal left back, Alex Cooper, they moved him up into the middle. Did it work? Did it not work? You could make the argument both ways. I'll tell you this. Most of the time, he's definitely been one of the best players on the pitch for them. Does a great job getting up and down. Sometimes suffering in the back, and because of injury, they've had to make that change, bring him back again. Now that people are starting to get healthy, starting to even things out, and like you said, Fittis stepping in, that could be the right fit.
Chested further forward by Verhoeven. He's been a revelation. Verhoeven crossing, here Rotolfo. Johnson tried to turn. Cooper onto his left. Deflects back, it's not over yet for Fresno. Lofted over Johnson. Popped up in the air, and Argueta couldn't get back to it. Corti does well off his line.
See the young boys on the back line there. Kyle Adams, only 21 years old. Castellanos, spoke about him already, 19. Connor Donovan, ripe old age of 22. And Kai Green, the veteran at 24. You could see the disorganization there as the ball bounces around. Understand you're going to be out of position, but you still have to communicate. Everybody shifts accordingly. A lot of just standing around waiting for the ball to come to them.
Kai Green, not just 24, he played for Jerson Echeverry at Seton Hall. Donovan has got a lot of pro minutes under his belt. It's the left-hand side of this group that's a little bit greener. Castellanos played last year at Galaxy 2, got 16 appearances, and then the rookie out of San Diego State, Adams.
You mentioned the experience with Kai Green. Also, you brought up Connor Donovan. Donovan actually has some experience under Echeverry with the U17 national team a few years ago. So he's definitely familiar with his players, and he knows what he wants. Obviously done a good job relaying that to Wilmer and the Dynamo. Choosing to bring these guys in and keep them. It's got to be nice as a head coach. You step in first year and you've got 2 players that you've worked with on a regular basis.
Corti will go to work, starting his 7th of the 8 games for RGV. A win, 2 losses, and 3 draws, but he's kept it within 1 goal in all those losses and draws. Team that's on the cusp of trying to figure it all out, looking for their first win in 4 tries on the road, their first point even. Argueta slides a ball through. Johnson laying up. Cooper, Johnson, Cooper again on the left-hand wing. It's a nice build-up here for Fresno. The cross is in, an own goal. Fresno takes a 1-goal lead at the half-hour mark. Now devastated by an own goal away to San Antonio on the weekend. Beneficiaries now.
Team play. This is everything that you could want out of your squad. Moving from the back in the middle, touches it inside, brings it back outside. And you can see once again, RGV disorganized on the counterattack as Connor Donovan said Echeverry used to him at the U17s a few years ago in the center back. Just very unfortunate, going to ground for the ball. Takes a terrible touch into the corner.
Well, Cooper's not going to get credit for the goal. Donovan, horrifically unlucky. He's conceded 2 penalties and now an own goal in 2.5 weeks. All that in mind, though, you talk about the team goal, and when we spoke with Adam Smith in past weeks, he told us that Alex Cooper has been the guy that's been consistent. Today he moves into midfield from that outside back position. We weren't quite sure how that was going to look. That was a build-up that's worthy of a guy who's played at a very high level for a very long time.
Again, whether it was the tactfulness of Adam Smith moving on up out of his normal role at that left back position and then bringing him back, unfortunately, because of all of the injuries in the back line and just makeshift at times. They've had so many players go down. Having to shift guys to the left, to the right. Once again, Alex Cooper showing you everything that he's capable of and that deft left foot that he's shown us all night long so far.
Ribeiro's not happy about that. Matias Zaldivar sticking his foot to that set piece on the restart. Mo Martin Del Campo. And it'll start with Roberto Castellanos. RGV team that comes off a win 2-0 over really the shock of the West to this point, Orange County, and a draw against Reno, the darling expansion side of 2017. And a midweek game played in the morning hours. Education Day at HEB Park. Huge crowd for it. This is an RGV team that's playing their best soccer of the year, and really not by a small margin, one would argue.
Especially from the defensive standpoint. We mentioned Donovan making the mistakes, but again, past 2 games able to get the shutouts. Largely in part to Nico Cordy keeping these guys in the matches, doing a great job back there from the goalkeeping position. But I mentioned the darlings, Reno. They've turned to a dilemma this year. They can't figure out exactly what's going on in the water and steering that in the right direction. But I'll tell you what, still impressed with this RGV squad. Difficult game against Orange County Soccer Club. This Braden Cloutier has definitely pushed them in the right direction. And regardless, even though it is Reno, you still do a good job getting the tie. 18 once again on the right-hand side. Going to ground. It's about the 4th time we've seen him go to ground. Look, they started their opening season off and they go 0-3-2. But since then, they've gone 1-1, gotten a couple points here, and an interesting point between these 2 squads. RGV sitting 1-3-3, 6 points. Fresno 2-2-5, 11 points. RGV sitting 14th, Fresno's at 10th. There is only 1 goal difference coming into the game between these 2 squads. So showing you that it doesn't matter, again, what performance you can put forth and how beautiful of a game you can play. If you can't get the job done on both ends of the field, it doesn't matter.
We showed you the graphic pregame. It's what, a 9-6 goal differential away from home for RGV, and they've lost 3 games. That's remarkable to lose by such a minuscule margin 3 times in a row. Jerson Echeverry is up off the bench.
Frustrated with one of his players, and this is one of those spans where they're going to have to take advantage of that homestay. They're currently in the midst of 5 out of 6 at home, this being the lone road game for them. On the other side of the coin, Fresno and the Foxes, they're dealing with 4 of 5 on the road. And they've had to deal with last game lost 2-1 San Antonio. Before that, the rough game versus Phoenix, the 1-1 late in the game with that equalizer coming. They were up a man in that match too. Talked about the red card on Kappa as Amadou Dia thrown out for that late challenge, and it doesn't get any easier. Next game they got to deal with the Real Monarchs, and then they got to deal with Orange County. So Fresno's got to learn to get results in general, let alone away from home.
Just a crazy stretch in May, we were told by the Fresno staff. The U.S. Open Cup starting, the PDL teams getting underway. We're a round away from the USL finding their way in. Ever manage your way into a couple of U.S. Open Cup matches, or did it never break that way as it's picked up by Rainish?
Been thrown out of a few as well.
Come on, really?
No. But you expected it almost.
Yeah. That was the least surprising fact of the day. Kai Green does well to take that out. Quintanilla. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Is that the perfect advertisement? Ribeiro won't be here. Johnson couldn't corral that. Wharton.
You can see the separation for RGV in the middle of the field and the boys up top. Todd Wharton just dances on the ball. He does such a good job, provides himself the right spacing, and his teammates, see it right there, steps into the right spot. It's a better first touch, but plays it away right away when he makes the inappropriate decision. But unfortunately, Zaldivar really hasn't clicked tonight. You saw moments ago Quintanilla stepping back, turning the ball over. The Foxes being the benefactor going the other way. They've got to communicate much better, open up this space.
Perea gets it wide. It's good cutback.
Stabbed away finally from Enriquez. Now a rip. Deflects back from Wharton. Adams covers a lot of ground there. 30th minute own goal by Connor Donovan, the difference. It was Fresno. 1-0 lead. 38 minutes in the books. Our USL game of the week. Fresno in their first year in the USL's Western Conference in 10th place. A lot of games early in the season here at Chuck Chancey Park, and great fanfare in the San Joaquin Valley for this. Really remarkable stuff in downtown Fresno. City that's known amazing soccer at the PDL level through the Fuego in past years. We'll have more on that at halftime, as there's an element of history being experienced here in Fresno. Epic through ball. Verhoeven is caught up. Back. Rodolfo deflects. Heroic defending from Donovan.
Available at a flex option. Choose any 5 matches of your choice, starting at $70. For more information, visit our ticket experts on the
Rodolfo kept that in. Enriquez trying to take it away. And there's the whistle. Foul just short of the corner flag.
Almost 10 minutes to the point you made. On the goal, Mike. Referencing the left-hand side, getting exposed once again. Verhoeven using that speed. Haven't seen a lot of Fittis, but again, the Foxes pushing the right side of the pitch. RGV struggling to have an answer.
Rodolfo lays off. Verhoeven. Wharton knocked it away. Zaldivar. Coming out of his net dangerously. It's a corner in the end. It could have been so much worse for Rainish. That deflects kindly for RGV.
For the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros.
Wharton, ton of English on this. Headed down. Good look from Castellanos. Here it is, fires Perea. To unlock that left-hand side again. Bouncer toward Donovan. Now the whistle.
And I don't mind the idea from Todd Wharton. You saw him. Your captain goes into the corner, very composed. 5 minutes left in the half. Take your time. Let everybody regroup and slow the game down a little bit. And he uses that big frame on Roberto Castellanos. 6'2", just drifts to the back post. That's youth, though. When that ball gets floated to you, you have to have that up and back into the mixer. Give someone an opportunity to run onto it. Instead, he goes down with it. I understand he's backpedaling. That's something you can just work on a little bit more on the training ground, fine-tune it.
Social media platforms.
Enriquez. Fittis and Verhoeven come together. Two guys with bright futures on loan from Vancouver Whitecaps. Perea plays it back. Dangerous challenge. Oh, that's a yellow card to Fittis.
Fittis is furious. You see him step up here. Just out of our camera angle a little bit. His anguish by Enriquez on the left-hand side. Very frustrated. Fittis thinking he got the ball there. Difficult to tell. but you force the referee's hand when you bring yourself in from a behind position. Anytime you go to ground and come from behind, it's almost a recipe for disaster.
So the two wide backs are both playing on yellow cards. Camden Faywell from the 14th and Fittis from the 43rd now. For both their first yellow cards of the season. Enriquez does well to change direction. Camden Faywell heads it to A-team. A-team! On the deflection in the corner.
Toyota corner kick.
If he hits that purely, could put
in the southwest corner of the concourse
in danger again.
Well, that's what you're going to get out of the 19-year-old Nigerian.
Fresno FC kids.
It's a terrible decision by Camden Faywell to head that ball back into the middle. It's a no-no as a defender. You push that to the side, but casually takes it out of the air and just has a crack on goal.
Wharton bouncing ball all the way through the mixer. Campo. Rodolfo sprinting. Perea in harm's way. Coming up at the half, we'll take a look at the best goals and saves from the week that was around the USL. Tell you about the trading cards that the first 1,000 through the turnstiles got a hold of here in Fresno. And of course, first half highlights and stats as the flag was up. Argueta, the right-hand side. Went unimpeded. As Cooper had moved on to the right. 1 minute of added time in this first half. Down by Adams. Cooper knocked him down in a quick restart for RGV. Zaldivar. Pocket picked, and now Jamal Johnson. Overcome by orange jerseys. Again, Fittis thought that had gotten out. It didn't. Play on between Fittis and Enriquez. Halftime, and Fresno, by way of an own goal, a 1-goal lead over RGV in the USL Game of the Week.
Impressive from Fresno. The Foxes have done a good job coming out so far. Adam Smith telling us they haven't watched a lot of tape, but whatever tape they did watch, they knew exactly what they were doing. Tactically, been almost perfect in the first half. RGV, once again, you hate to say it, Jerson Echeverry, the boys, got to go back to the drawing board.
RGV trying to avoid deja vu. They've fallen 3 games on the road. Sometimes you need luck. It wasn't there. And it wasn't there either. Donovan, the own goal, has Fresno on a 1-0 lead. Plenty coming up at halftime here on ESPN3.
You see the Security Bank building off in the distance. Chuck Chancey Park, site of our USL game of the week. Fresno Football Club picks up a 1-0 advantage over RGV FC at the 45-minute intermission. Devin Kerr alongside Mike Watts with you. And Devin, as we look at our first half highlights, this game had a pretty good tempo and pace to it, really from the outset. And well, how about this knock? Zaldivar just a bit unlucky.
Zaldivar in the 22nd minute coming out, and tell you what, he had Kyle Renish's number for sure, picked his pocket on the front post, but unfortunately gets that unlucky bounce you mentioned. Smith usually telling us that they haven't gotten the bounces to go their way. Well, that's an untimely turnover in the middle of the field by the young Perea, and they go the other direction, and that's what we saw a lot. You see the Toros start to move forward a little bit. The Zorros were taming them for sure, did a good job. Rodolfo sails it over the top, and then they started to pick up a little bit of momentum. Good ball played into the back post, and then this is where you saw Corti come out and just had no clue what was going on. Very unlucky that that ball didn't end up in the back of the net.
Cooper, the final effort, drives it wide as Merrill got up to meet it on Corti's mistime punch. A-team goes down here, concedes the ball back to Fresno, and Jamal Johnson leading the troops up the field. This is a team goal, even if the team doesn't get credit for the goal.
Another turnover, ball into Rodolfo, back to Johnson, out to Cooper. Cooper serves not one of his best balls we've seen before, but still a good ball nonetheless. Plays it to the near post, and again, Connor Donovan just stepping over. Does the right thing as the center back. He's actually arriving a little bit late, but it's difficult to do when you see all the shifting. Rodolfo's on the back. You see him come to the near post. So as he starts to shift, his body opens up. Unfortunately, feet get caught underneath him a little bit. Ball ends up in the back of the net.
This comes in the 30th minute of play. Fresno has their advantage at Chuck Chancey Park on the own goal by Connor Donovan as we cruised into halftime. Well, of course, both these teams tend to concede late in games. There's a lot of highlights surely left to come. That in mind, neither team has a shot on target yet because the goal was an own goal. It wasn't a shot at all.
It's something that we've seen from both squads in the past, putting a lot of numbers up statistically, but nothing prevalent enough to push them to the next level. Look, RGV, they're unhinged from their top two. They need to do a better job on the right-hand side of the pitch. They're just not really utilizing them enough. But Fresno, how good have they been on the left? Keep an eye on Monday, A-team. He's pinching in a lot on the right. That is allowing Alex Cooper to get up and down and showing the pace and showing his technical capability to knock all that good service in.
So there's your halftime highlights and stats. Meanwhile, if you haven't seen Jack Blake at Al Lang Stadium, you can also see him when he drops by USL headquarters. He picks out some of the best plays of the week, and oftentimes they're not goals and they're not saves. We'll show you those too. But first, it's the Blake Down here on the USL Game of the Week.
Welcome to episode 7 of the Blake Down. I've got my good friend and roommate Cody Mizell with me. Welcome to the show, mate.
Jack, always a pleasure. Best haircut in USL.
We're going to be analysing the saves of the week this week, something slightly different. Cody will obviously give his critique on the goalkeeper, and I'll be able to give an analysis of the attacking play, so it should be a good one.
To the right side, blocked out of harm's way, allows Restrepo to get back in. Casares a chance.
So it's a good couple actions here from Diego Restrepo. First, he's coming for a cross, looking like his 20-year-old self. Second one, makes himself big and gets himself in a good position, and honestly makes a good save, push over the bar. Yeah,
from an attacking perspective, Fresno here, when Bustamante picks up the ball and Restrepo is literally 2 or 3 yards in front of him, he makes the great decision to pass it. It gives his team the opportunity in the defense of San Antonio to get back and get into a good position. So Restrepo makes a great decision. It's very forward thinking, it's on his front foot, and it's a fantastic play.
This one delivered in dangerously to the penalty area. Great save by Maxi Crepeau.
So this clip has a couple good things in it. First of all, good decision from Crepeau to stand his line, and obviously when the header's in 6 yards out, makes a good decision, good feet, stands strong and makes a strong save to the right, keep his team in the game midway through the first half.
Yeah, and Kevin Pollitz takes advantage of losing his man. It's a great set piece, great ball in. One thing that maybe if he had the header again, he might choose to head it back across goal into the corner. You know, it makes it more difficult for the keeper to do that. But again, it's a fantastic effort on goal. Like Cody said, it's great reflexes from Crepeau, and it's a fantastic play.
You
Gets away from his defender, now sends it in towards goal. Headed save, Marcinkowski.
Marcinkowski, I think it's my vote for save of the week this week. Puts himself in a great spot to make the save. Well defended by his defender as well to have us back after a brilliant save.
Jacob probably has in his head to head it down. You know, when you head it down, it makes it more difficult for keepers when it's at their feet. And that's exactly what he does there. So in my opinion, he doesn't do anything wrong. He does the right thing and heads it down. And Marcinkowski, it's a fantastic save. You know, reflexes are fantastic on that play. I hope you all enjoyed episode 7 of the Blake Down, something slightly different this week. Thanks again, Cody, for coming on the show.
Chaco, pleasure working with you, man.
I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Devin, I know you're offended that they're talking about best hair in the USL and not including you.
Best hair in the USL.
Yeah, well, there's all the mascots out. They've got nice hairdos, too. It's halftime here between Fresno FC and Rio Grande Valley FC. Let's take a look at some of the best goals of the week, and then we'll rehash some of the best saves as well. And we begin with Jamal Johnson, of all people, for this Fresno Football Club side. Unlucky not to get a result away to San Antonio. That was a huge goal for Fresno.
And it starts off with a clever back heel by Rodolfo, and you'd really like to see Rodolfo find the back of the net a little bit more, but again, good combination play, and that transition into Joaquin Rivas versus Las Vegas. And how about Farino just getting beat on the near post? Got to do better. That's a no-no by the goalkeeper.
Newly married Ricardo Farino, if you haven't heard. How about Efrain Alvarez? This kid can't drive yet. I wish I had skills like that. I give up my license for it.
Does a great job versus Phoenix Rising and beating Waz, Carl Wazinski to the far post, and then again going the other way. Juan Ignacio Marie versus the Orange County Soccer Club. Greg Cloutier is going to want that one back in extra time, putting his boys ahead. Phenomenal finish.
And finally a win at Zions Bank Stadium. What a gorgeous place that is. How about last game of the week? Indy and Cincinnati, they put on a show.
And I tell you, I love the finish by Jimmy McLaughlin, but the real part of this play is the ball by Corbin Bone. It's a nice ball in behind the back line.
How about we take a look at these saves of the week and see if you agree with Cody Mizell which one's best. Diego Restrepo was a monster in this game.
And Ronnie Argueta tees it up from about 22 yards out. Just ping right down the middle. The most difficult of saves by Restrepo, but still got to get a hand behind it.
Maxime Crépeau trying to keep this New York Red Bulls 2 side off the no-no.
Once again, just drifting to the back post. He really does a good job of putting himself in the right place at the right time. Talked about Crépeau making a good save, and how about Andre Rawls? This, for me, off Cachere, just great strike to the back post, reads it all the way, and does a good job getting his body behind it.
Jaquan nodding this down, and Marcinkowski coming up with a massive stop away to Colorado Springs.
The Blake Down gave an excellent representation of what happened on that play. Does everything right there, AJ, and just a great save. And you and I saw this. Fawn Williams just outstretched hands, all the power behind it. Did a great job to keep Kenny Walker from finding the back of net once again.
Well, that's what happened last game of the week. You're watching this game of the week, and here's what's coming up. ESPN News will take over, as you can catch the International Champions Cup and a little bit of USL there as well in July. And St. Louis Phoenix is next. Phoenix dropping a bomb here tonight, a dominant performance against OKC.
You see OKC is going to show up on July 11th versus Las Vegas Lights. Fortunately enough, a little bit of time to recover after the 3-0 drubbing they've dealt with here this evening. But how about Martin Rennie? Martin Rennie in Indy 11 getting things going. Did a good job, unfortunately struggling versus Cincinnati, but got back on track. And Beth Steele starting to get the wheels turning over there. I like it.
And then St. Louis and OKC had a big trade here. Christian Valesky on the move, former champion at Rochester, going to OKC. Is that what they need?
I tell you, I like the move. I'm not really sure who it's going to benefit more. I think Anthony Pulis has a better opportunity to use that international roster spot to help figure out exactly what to do up top with Corey Herzog.
We're at halftime here in our USL Game of the Week. Fresno taking advantage of some luck and bringing the fans out to downtown Fresno as RGV look to pick up a win. They'll need a goal here. And we'll be back with more of the USL Game of the Week after this.
Sometimes a new pro soccer club has legends in the making. Sometimes it's the pizza you're eating or the atmosphere you're around. Sometimes it's the players or the fans. Jaime Ramirez, for instance, the former Fresno Fuego coach, who's their inaugural coach in the PDL, now the head coach at Fresno Pacific University, is a guy that, on the left-hand side you see there, is one of the legends. Christian Cheney, previously with the Fuego Fire Squad Fresno. These are trading cards being handed out by the folks at Fresno State, part of the Valley Public History Initiative. This the first time they've run this course, and students from Fresno State, as part of a history of soccer course run by Professor Romeo Guzman, handing out those trading cards to the first 1,000 people through the turnstiles. It's a fantastic opportunity to educate fans, and they're bringing in photos from fans into their archives, scanning them at this game here. And when you think about it, Devin, when a USL team shows up in your downtown and brings thousands of fans out some 17 times a year, hopefully plus a couple playoff games, if you're that fan base, legends and history begin very quickly. This Fresno team is hoping that they have a legendary first year, the way RGV did 2 years ago.
For me, it's jealousy on my end. What I would give to be a part of a community or environment like that and experience something on a regular basis. People have it made. It is really cool to be such part of amazing culture and history, and to bring that back into the limelight in the manner in which they're doing so is very impressive.
It's the blue of Fresno left to right. It's the orange of RGV right to left in this second half of play as we continue on the USL Game of the Week. Corti takes over, 30th minute own goal, the difference. Connor Donovan, horribly unlucky to concede on a cross by Alex Cooper. Zaldivar gives chase. Ramon Martin Del Campo kicks it out. A nutmeg. Turn was off the mark from Enriquez. Barea. And now Adams. There's that Fire Squad Fresno group. They've got those originals scarves that they've handed out to the season ticket holders in this first season of Fresno Football Club soccer. Del Campo pushing through Zaldivar.
Once again, Todd Wharton taking his time, letting the big boys from the back move up. See a long ball floated to the back post, knocked back in.
There it is from Wharton. And well, you had the play down, but the execution didn't match.
He's waiting for me to come in. He's waiting for the through ball.
Adams to throw. How often do you work on a play like that? 40 yards up from the corner flag on the far wing, and you aim for that back post.
That's something that's all based upon the tactics that each coach wants to employ and how much time he wants to put into each practice. You and I had the opportunity to chat a few weeks ago with Isidro Sanchez from Las Vegas Lights, and he told us that's something that they'll practice extremely prevalently. And he'll go much so, he'll get onto the blackboard and bring it down to the pitch, and that's how they push things out. I've played for guys who will go out there and kind of let you do your own thing, and I brought this up on a broadcast as well. I've had coaches that will go so far as to label plays by countries. You had everything scripted down. We would go home with a playbook and everything.
Rodolfo got it wide, the Brazilian. Cooper serves for Johnson. Headed away, Adams in the area, Enriquez drives. As far as Camden Faywo. Slid before Cooper could take over. You thought Cooper had acres of space in that first half.
I didn't understand what Gerson Echeverry was trying to do with Monday.
Cooper! Oh, goodness, it just falls apart. Donovan knocked it away. Cooper almost pulled off the dribble of the year.
Right on point, Cooper stepping up to the task. And you see it starting outside, just makes a great run down the middle. And it's clever footwork, just touch on the right, touch on the left, gets behind the guys. Fresno's not stopping yet.
Johnson in for Daly. This is the most thrilling Fresno's attack has looked all game. For Rodolfo intercepted and Adams to the halfway line. Down by Fittis, who turns it over. And this lob will find Enriquez. Enriquez at the byline. Off of Argueta. And a corner on the way.
And just moments ago, once again, you see Alex Cooper doing a good job getting down. We talked about all the dimensions that he provides. Jamal Johnson getting in on the act as well. It's a little touch, stop, go. Usually that's on a set piece with 3 guys playing around. Jamal deciding to do it on his own.
Wharton on the corner.
I'll go back to your point a moment ago, Mike. Talked about Alex Cooper on the left-hand side, and so we didn't know what Jerson Echeverry was doing with Monday at team. And the reason I say that is in the first half, you've got the left of Alex Cooper, Fresno Foxes, and you've got the right of RGV, the Toros, dealing with Monday A team. He's pinched in very tight. And when they were going forward, there was that disconnect on the wing, didn't give them the opportunity.
Zaldivar knocks it over. Well, how does that affect it?
So as you pinch in, you leave a lot of space out on the right-hand side. So when you go forward, you want to explode into it. The problem is Monday never came outside. I mean, you saw a lot of the times he was going to ground 5, 6, 7, even 10 yards from the byline, excuse me, from the sideline. When you pinch in like that, you can give yourself an opportunity to make a play like that, but then you have to get the overlapping runs from your outside backs. Not once in the first half did we see Kai Green or Kyle Adams push into an opposing third space.
Verhoeven on the move. Overcooked the service for Cooper.
You're going to allow yourself to come in that tight. There's nothing wrong with that. Fresno does it. You see them pinch in, and then their outside backs go out, and that's great. You don't see Ken Feo getting around Alex Cooper, but you don't really need to. But you do see it on the right side. You see Justin Fittis getting up and down, and that's how they work it. They tuck in, gives the space around the outside the opportunity to develop. When you're RGV, if you tuck, you have to have those runs to give yourself coverage. They weren't doing it.
Quintanilla, more space here. The rip is in! Jesus Enriquez with an epic curler.
Jesus Enriquez ties the game.
Well, I said to expect celebrations. He quiets the crowd.
Nico Corti, known for his distribution skills. Ball one on the challenge, dropped down to Quintanilla, does a good job. Moments ago, we talked about the spacing on the outside. How about Enriquez does a good job holding his position, known for that left foot. Puts it on the right, turns the Zorros the wrong way, and finds the back of the net.
California native. Wow. 1-1, huh?
Adam Smith has got to be on the sideline, having deja vu all over again. A little too early to tell, 8 minutes into the second half. But time and time again, they find themselves being snake bitten in every single match they play in.
Well, for RGV, it's not really a struggle to score on the road, is it? 7 goals in 3.5+ games. You just haven't gotten a win for it yet.
Unfortunately, still sitting in that negative goal difference column at -1. But you and I were talking about it off camera that, look, that free kick in the first half by Zaldivar, 22nd minute. What if that comes off the inside of the post, finds the goal, and then the ball doesn't on the other side for the Zeros? Just one little bounce and tweak here and there. It's almost like the old movie Mighty Ducks, a quarter of an inch this way. Quarter of an inch this way, Charlie. And we have a totally different game, but RGV did a good job in the first half for about the first 30, 35 minutes. Started to fall off in the final 10 or so as Fresno started to dictate rate of play, but if Jersey can get them all back on the same page, they can stick in this match and push forward.
Wharton to line this up. Wharton to the back post, headed down, and it was a foul by Castellanos.
The USL's official Facebook page brings you the best from across the league with news, highlights, and interactive features. Like the USL on Facebook to get the league's best content
Lofted toward Quintanilla. Camden Faywell pushing ahead. Cooper will pick it up. Danny Barrera will make his move onto the field. That's enough for Noah Verhoeven.
Substitution, Fresno FC. Coming out, number 17, Noah Verhoeven. Coming in, number 15.
Well, Verhoeven is slowly becoming one of the players that you pay to watch as a professional. He's really impressed yet again.
He's done a very good job in his first few performances, and we have to remember that he's only 18 years of age, still so much experience to gain, match in and match out. And Adam Smith deciding that he's seen enough on the right side of Verhoeven, bringing in Barrera to keep up with Jesus Enriquez, obviously not liking what he saw after that goal. Something else we haven't talked about is two outside backs of Fresno sitting on yellow cards. It's another thing that could come into the play as the time starts to tick off on the clock.
Camden Faywell and Fittis. Throw on the way here for Fresno as they look to make another move. Arqueta. Johnson. The overlap is on. Turns down Fittis. Over the top from Ribeiro. That's got to be a clear handball. It's gone unnoticed. Like a ball stuck on the rim. It just never fell off there for a moment.
Every player,
substitution,
person, patron, whatever you want to call them, in this arena, stadium, saw that ball hit his hand. Not only did it hit him, it sat there. How about Adam Smith turning the troops once again? Rodolfo coming off, Bustamante coming on. Not a Bustamante, another one that Adam Smith would really like to see kick into gear, provide a little bit more action. Support for the likes of Jamal Johnson and Alex Cooper.
Quintanilla ran into Daly. Whistled for that contact. Bustamante hoping to start the counter. Seemed ill-fated from the start. Arqueta between threes. Aldevar. Draws the whistle.
Ribeiro. Camden Faywall off of Corti. Spins down to Adams. Fittis heads it back. Want exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Camden Faywall. Cleared by Green. Barrera wants the ball. Barrera serves at the feet of Connor Donovan. Whistle against Ramon Martin Del Campo, and now 3 of the back 4 for Fresno gonna be on yellow cards.
Yellow card.
As a player from RGV, you have to recognize that. Give yourself a little bit more of an opportunity, push the pace, take someone one-on-one. You never know what opportunity is gonna present itself. Really like Aldo Quintanilla and what he's done here in the second half. Much more active, playing off everybody in the middle.
Del Campo into the book. It's his first yellow. And he does have a red. Turned over. Chance now. Laid off. The shot is in by Cooper. Most consistent, most valuable. Massive goal for Fresno.
The left side was the loose side in the first half. Kai Green, very uncharacteristic. He usually does such a good job keeping hold of the ball, and you can see it just too willy-nilly in the back. Ball bounces out. Alex Cooper, we've talked about him all night long. Why not? Let's continue it. Put him on the stat sheet. Fresno just did such a good job. Pushed the high line, kept going, and they got their goal.
61st minute, he scored in the 75th against Galaxy 2 earlier this year. And all of a sudden, I wonder if this game could spin out of control. The offenses have woken up. 0 shots on target in the first half. Back toward Corti. Has to play it with his feet with Bustamante in pursuit. Adams just did that away. On the ground for Johnson. Fittis crossing. Return. Knocks it ahead. The flag is up against Cooper.
Right now is when you want your captain, Todd Wharton, to step up, settle the troops. You already brought it up, Mike. Not a lot of shots on goal in the first half. Fresno has had some opportunities, not too much home to write home about, excuse me. The own goal, of course, the 30th minute, coming off the hard work of Alex Cooper. And then once again, Alex Cooper stepping up, but RGV both times just putting themselves behind the 8 ball. Need to give themselves a few more opportunities at the other end of the pitch. Get the likes of Quintanilla and Zaldivar, a team involved. They're definitely down in this match, but they are not out.
Run ahead. Johnson's made himself available. Jamal Johnson! Karam's out of play.
Corner kick taken by Danny Barrera.
way this match is going, you almost expected a deflection into the back of the net with Nico Corti tracking the ball. Wouldn't mind some of that popcorn, though, I can tell you that much.
To visit the Fresno FC team store located in the southwest corner of the concourse and behind section 119. Today's to get your Soros gear. Fresno FC Kids and Adidas collection are in stock.
You look so sad.
Check out the latest in Fresno FC merchandise at FresnoFC.com.
Barrera swinging in, knocked down by Corti, turning, Ribeiro still alive, kicked away, Donovan, the follow headed away from the line.
Fresno, where you at?
Save of the week kind of stuff.
Another Toyota corner kick.
All the Fresno reserves, hands on their head, they just can't believe it. And a stoppage in play.
Every single Toro player trying to grasp their breath now. You saw Corti bouncing around. I believe there was a Todd Wharton signing. Definitely Connor Donovan. There's another look. Barrera serves a good ball in. Corti makes the first save. Just all over ping pong, and definitely Connor Donovan.
Bounces, Ribeiro just to come over the top. Ribeiro again. Another corner.
Jamal Johnson to take a Toyota corner kick.
If you're Fresno, you want to look to ride this wave of emotion. Jamal Johnson, pick out one of the big boys. Keep testing the goalkeeper, puts him on frame.
Corti pulls that down. Change on the way for RGV. Monday, A team will come out. And Jordan Jones.
Substitution, Rio Grande Valley.
Comes on.
It's a pretty stereotypical change by Jerson Echeverry. Jordan plays on the right-hand side. He'll play as a lone striker up top as well, but he did that at Oregon State. He's going to give you the opportunity to push the pace. Excellent speedster, and he knows how to use his body. Had 29 goals in 71 appearances. He's on the team All Pac-12, and actually the 47th draft pick this year by LAFC. Coming over to RGV, Jordan Jones going to look to help the Toros get back on track.
Chance to break through, Rainish on a goal! It's in, but the flag is up. Jones won't get the goal.
Nico Corti again with the excellent distribution. I would love to know what he is calling here. There is no foul, there is no offside. This is a terrible decision by the referee and his assistant. There's no way whatsoever that Mickey Daly is getting to that ball. Jordan Jones did a good job. It's a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. I get it. Their feet get tied up a little bit, but there's no possibility whatsoever that Daly's getting to the ball. It should be 2-2.
Corner
kick for Rio Grande Valley.
What a second half. Corner popped up off the back heel. Connor Donovan.
I don't understand in a situation like that how the referees, number one, can make that decision in general, but number two, how you can't have a more in-depth and detailed conversation. Ball comes off the foot of Corti, gets in. Jordan Jones does a good job, pushes the pace, gets a nice little touch out in the open behind Kyle Rainish, and then Daly does a good job from that right center back position coming over. It's just It doesn't make any sense.
Got to try to play it through. Corti played the perfect ball, to be fair. Enriquez. Quintanilla dispossessed. Johnson. Lifted by Johnson, across on the volley, it's over. And the flag from the referee went up for a foul, not for an offside on that previous no-goal call from the referee.
Absolutely ridiculous. Soft call in every way, shape, and form. You hate to see the decision by a referee affect the outcome of any game. But in a situation like that, the battle is over. I mean, you can still win the war, but the battle is 100% over. That ball is in the back. That's a goal. Mike, you and I both know I'd be the first one to defend a center back.
Yeah. Fittis lost his feet and he's still down. Slowly back up now. He's got his feet caught up there. Zaldivar to the right.
Classy play by Jamal Johnson, recognizing that his right back is out of position and he shifted over to help his teammate out.
Adams. The runs weren't on the same page. Let's take another look back at this disallowed goal. Well, it can't be that, can it?
It's right here. They're blowing the whistle right here, which is insane. Like, absolutely insane. Because even if Jordan Jones doesn't make contact, Mickey Daly has already taken the touch that would have ended up in the back of the net. Then again, what do I know?
Mini plans are now available at Flex Auction. Choose any 5 matches of your choice.
Fittis is still down. He got back up to defend there a moment ago. And the trainers come out to look at him.
Want a behind-the-scenes look at Fresno FC? You can stay connected with the Zorros on social media at FFC Foxes on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. That's FFC Foxes on all social media platforms. Fresno, I don't hear you.
72nd minute. GV can't help surely, but feel hard done here. At least as we see it. 2-1 lead for Fresno. But it's a Fresno team that's really struggled to finish games. Here's Fittis going down a moment ago.
That's a tough one.
Enriquez to Wharton. Ball for Wharton. He slide toward it. Ricochets. Now for a goal kick. Lifted toward Jones. Another breakthrough for RGV! Quintanilla!
Totals have tied the game at the 73rd minute.
Once again, Nicholas Perea stepping up. We've seen him all night long. And how about the ball from Jordan Jones? Tell you what, RGV, in my opinion, have found an MVP in Jordan Jones. Had the goal called back just moments ago. Does not let that deter him from the task at hand. Excellent ball in and a great assist to Quintanilla as he's able to equalize in the 73rd minute.
An 89th minute goal against Orange County, their 2-0 win, 2 games back. Two teams that, as it turns out, hate holding leads late in games. There's an element of newness to both teams. New roster, new coach for RGV, new franchise for Fresno. Enriquez, collision. Oh, the ball luckily hops back onto his foot.
Could the scene be set any better than what we started at the top of our broadcast with, dealing with the road woes of RGV, clawing back in here, dealing with one ill-timed touch. A very questionable call by head referee. And the Foxes making most of their opportunities up front in those situations. RGV has shown that they've got a lot of character and a lot of fight left in them. And Fresno, once again, as you can see Adam Smith in pure and utter disgust throwing something into the garbage can, the frustration on that man's face. Snake bitten is not the word. Deja vu is not the word. It is just pure frustration at this point in time. Fresno in their 10th match of the year, finding themselves in a very familiar position.
Argueta. Bustamante. So he found Cooper. Yeah, and he's unlocked him up the left channel. Green on defense. Hamden Faywell. Slid out.
Jamal Johnson to take a
corner for Fresno, 77th minute. Winless in April, their last win on the 31st of March. Jamal Johnson swinging in.
And how impressive by Aldo Quintanilla. Your forward doing a good job. His defensive duties, stepping back, helping out on the set piece.
Couple of defensive headers. Lofted back toward the corner again, but Johnson won't catch up. Absolutely. And it's a fan favorite, even if they don't know it yet. Fresno Fuego alum, 2009 to 2011, again in 2017. He's considering retirement. His girlfriend Ashley said, no way. He's kept Cuevas involved, and Fittis will come out. He picked up a knock, and he was playing on a yellow card.
Adam Smith, you can hear him barking orders. He's going to move all the troops around right now. So Chiva's going to step in to the middle and help out over there, slide over onto the left-hand side. Don't be surprised. Alex Cooper shifting into that left back position, and almost every single person on the back line just sliding over a little bit. Mickey Daly more accustomed to playing that center back role on the right side, but very talented, and that's exactly what you're going to see. Number 5 sliding all the way over. Ramon Martin Del Campo will slide into that right center back position. Candem Feo had been playing left back. He'll move into the left center back role, and Chiva will step out on the left mid.
Bustamante rushing over.
It's not too late to get your Fresno FC season tickets and join the originals.
There are the originals.
A match for 20 home matches. Contact our
Fresno's original season ticket holders.
On the concourse today.
Fire Squad of Fresno. Fresno team that started with 5 of 7 at home. Means it will get more difficult on the road.
I'm sure that's pure frustration for Adam Smith, their inability to get it done in what should be their mainstay for points. It's always interesting to hear what coaches think about games at home and games on the road and how they'd like to start off the season.
Green trailing away. Cooper picks up a Fresno throw. He's a little banged up. Chiva Cuevas to the left-hand side. Pops up, Green. At the touchline, stays with Fresno still.
You would think most coaches would want to start off at home and build that rapport with the fans, get the good chemistry for their teams going. I'm sure that's what Adam Smith felt when his schedule came out, that they were going to get some points early. Again, just trials and tribulations all over the pitch. Interestingly enough, gentlemen like Mike Jeffries, Charlotte Independence, they had 4 of their first 6 off at home, and he hated it. Said he'd rather go on the road and build that camaraderie elsewhere, deal with those road woes that RGV have dealt with, and try and give his team the opportunity to get out in front and be at home later on in the year.
Cuevas couldn't unlock this RGV defense there. Ribeiro stepping back. Ribeiro putting some texture on it. Will deflect away from Bustamante and out. Corner Fresno.
Toyota corner kick. Taken by Chiva Cuevas.
What kind of magic does Chiva Cuevas have in his first debut for Fresno FC? Cuevas again on the ground, away from Bustamante. Johnson keeping it alive. Argueta fouled by Wharton.
Referee signals a free kick.
RGV will go to their bench. Kai Green set to check out. Manny Padilla will come on. 4th round draft pick of the Dynamo, who's shown really well in the early going.
Kai Green had been touch and go this season, did a good job tonight. I'd like to see a little bit more active going forward. We saw that at the start of the second half, and good combination played by RGV. Jerson Echeverry going to his bench. Looks like he's got another ace in the hole. So I see a Pablo Aguilar sighting. Here, Fresno, no games in a situation like this. You've got the opportunity. I like a little touch to the side. Right in front. Move it around the wall and then have a go. I understand it's a dead ball situation, but you have an opportunity to open up some space.
Cuevas drops away. Chiva Cuevas caught by Corti. Diving to the post. Robbing Fresno of a storybook moment.
That's something that's very stereotypical from that distance. You don't need to. If you're going to hit it from there, you got to put some power on it. Hit it with something special. A little bit of dipping and diving from that angle isn't going to too much. It's going to have to be a lot better than that to beat the lights of Nico Corti.
Pablo Aguilar, who scored in his debut against St. Louis, but not since. March the 17th, set to check in. Another look back, Quintanilla.
Substitution, Rio Grande Valley FC.
Coming off with the game-tying goal in the 74th.
It really is a great finish by Quintanilla, and I don't want to take anything away from that, but you have to give credit to Jordan Jones playing that point spot up top. He was sharing that role. Did a good job shifting up, moving the formation a little bit by RGV when he came on.
Cooper popping up, away from Barrera. His header steered to the touchline. Daly lobs in. Barrera, the second half substitute. Cuevas over the top, turning his run. Barrera, the back heel, another back heel. Cuevas crossing, nobody home. Daly tries to cross. It's a wonderful dive. Cooper.
I get it.
Keep up to date with all of the best social media from around the league. Kelsey Steele hosts Off the Post every Friday through the league's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds. One off the post in this game for RGV, a free kick. An own goal off of Connor Donovan in the 30th. Fresno responding. Goals in the 61st. After Enriquez had tied the game, Quintanilla tying it again in the 74th.
This is a good distance right now. You asked the question earlier, Mike, how often do teams and players practice these set pieces? This is an excellent distance where you're going to get a good representation of how much they're doing. From this distance, you have got to put some special pace on it, which Todd Wharton has the ability to do. In the 85th minute, you can see him lining up, put a little bit of swerve on it to the back post. I would love to see some ingenuity here. An overlapping run. You see Kyle Adams running flat, just something right across the box, played in behind the wall.
Wharton lifting, header is over. Is that ingenuity?
It's the book everybody in this building has read a million different times. Fortunately, we tend to just read it from a different direction or upside down, and we see the same result. Just saw it right there over the back. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but it's something that you learn when you're 8 years old. Why not go to the drawing board and figure something else out?
Wood knocks it ahead. Jones nearly intercepted. The prominent storyline for both teams this year. Late goals conceded. Taking results away. Sent back to Barrera. Barrera, 360 spin. And the deflection. It's a high challenge. And a yellow card to Ronnie Argueta.
Deservedly so here for Argueta stepping in. He's trying to use those big legs.
Yellow card.
And those quads stepping in on Pablo Aguilar, but Aguilar did a good job. We saw the fancy footwork moments ago from the boys in blue right up top, but RGV not shying away from this challenge. Liked it before when they played that high line. Good to see them continue that.
Enriquez strung out. Free kick for RGV. Aguilar coming over to help out.
Jesus Enriquez has almost disappeared since that amazing effort that he scored early on. Let's see him on the tackle, going to ground, starting to cramp. Todd Wharton bringing over some refreshments.
Still one more sub for RGV to toy around with here. Beg your pardon, they've used their 3.
That rule doesn't come into effect to the USL playoffs.
Oh yeah?
You and I got to have a conversation.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Wharton will line it up in the 89th minute. Wharton driving to the back post. Heavy collision into that post. For not one, but 2 players.
Wharton once again. In swinging ball. Everybody crashing on that back post. Ooh. That's the likes of Connor Donovan coming in. Knee and shin area catching the bottom half of it.
He and Pedro Ribeiro.
Pedro Ribeiro got tied up on the back as well. Pedro Ribeiro and his body took the brunt of that on the far post. human here tonight. Enriquez going to the ground again, just cramping all over the place. Classy show of sportsmanship by Connor Donovan, though, checking on him.
Into the 90th minute. With Ribeiro and Donovan still being checked out. The training staff done their work. And Fresno put it back in play. Late winter can be season turning. Either Fresno or RGV. Turned over. Jones slows his run. Now pushes onward. Del Campo puts it out for a throw. 5 minutes at a time.
The referee signals 5 minutes of stoppage time. 5 minutes of stoppage time.
Adams has found his target. Runs inside, Jones. After that, and Ribeiro was fouled.
Interesting directions being barked out from the sideline of Fresno as well. You could hear them barking, saying, Chiva, green light, man, Chiva, green light. Watch for the second ball, looking to counter, catch RGV off as they push so many numbers forward.
Del Campo. Cortes off his line to make the catch.
Is that what happens when you're a 3-time national champion?
A little bit of confidence,
to say the least.
Argueta. Johnson fades away from Padilla. Throw for Johnson. He'll aim for the corner. For Cooper. Donovan bounces that off the netting.
Good recognition by the center back, realizing the right-hand side had been isolated and beat.
Ribeiro. Ribeiro still. Deflects outside. Barrera. Reversing to the touchline. Daly serves. Header comes down. Ribeiro spinning. Ribeiro dispossessed. And the ball back to Barrera, intercepted. Enriquez. Throw for Fresno. Barrera over the top. Daly serving out in front. Knocked away. Enriquez further. Ribeiro keeping it alive. Johnson. The overlap is on now. Cooper serves again. Looking for Bustamante. Cooper doubled near the touchline. Is there a chance to counter now for RGV? It's Jones, the spark plug of the second half. Holding up play and unleashing the Toros. Enriquez. There's room wide, now he plays it. Ball wound across. A little pushing and shoving.
You really have to give credit to Adam Smith. You hear him once again, Chiva in the middle, tempo high. Smith trying to push the troops forward here. Get that final goal.
Cuevas headed down, contact, play on. Smith and the Fresno Fuego. Fresno FC crowd, savvy group. Felt there were multiple plays. Could have gotten the whistle blown. Barrel taken by Aguilar. Jones and then Feo stepped in. It's Aguilar now.
Just moments ago, this is what went down on the other direction. That's a dive, 100%. Got to get up. Had an opportunity to continue your run and get on the end of it as well.
Cuevas. Johnson. Is there one more look for either of these teams, or will they settle for a point? A wild second half. Lofted. Ribeiro. After it still, it's full time. RGV pick up their first road point of the season. Adam Smith and Fresno have to settle for one. It finishes tonight 2-2.
Remarkable performance by both teams. Really felt like RGV could have come out on top in this situation. Could make the argument for both squads going in either direction. Some questionable calls, but a good performance out of both of them nonetheless.
So Fresno and RGV finish level, 3 goals in the second half. Cooper in the 61st, but 2 game-tying goals. Enriquez, a missile in the 52nd. And Quintanilla on the break in the 74th. Both teams still under the playoff line. It finishes 2-2. Highlights and stats after this. Fuego over with the fans. It finishes 2-2 in our USL game of the week. Devin Kerr alongside Mike Watts. And, well, both teams have so often conceded late goals this year. In some ways, it's only fitting that neither can find the answer at the end, as they'll split the spoils at a 2-2 draw. Look at our full-time highlights, and boy, if this goes in, the whole game goes differently. Zaldivar smacks it off the post.
RGV did a good job tonight. They carried 57% of possession in the first and second half, and you're spot on, Mike. Saldivar comes out hot. It's a nice effort to the near post. Cannot beat Kyle Rainish. That's when you really start Fresno Foxes to kind of find their fight in them a little bit. Started going the other direction, and the combination play on this goal was amazing. Unfortunate for Connor Donovan that the own goal is going to happen on him, but again, just a great team effort all around, start to finish from the Foxes.
This in the 30th minute. It's the ultimate team goal, but no one on the team gets credit for it. Just the scoreline. Donovan, the own goal. Just like that, Fresno have their lead, 1-0. As Cooper, who so often this year has been key, ultimately would get a goal in the 61st minute. Given credit for the effort at minimum. We move forward to the second half of play. Brought down for Quintanilla, and it's a missile from Jesus Enriquez in the 52nd minute. The curler into side netting, and we're on level terms.
We had just spoken about the outside players holding their position. Jesus Enriquez on cue does a good job, puts it on that right peg. Pick that out, upper corner. Great job by the Toros to respond immediately in the second half.
Phenomenal goal for Enriquez, himself a native of California. And the response from Fresno, the turnover forced by Cooper, Bustamante playing it onto the overlap, and Cooper knocks it home.
We were so critical all night long. Kyle Adams, Roberto Castellanos, we said that was going to be the problem, that RGV was